Chapter 5, Heart of Darkness. We're looking at the most background heavy episode of Riverdale this season. We're coming into the mid-season of this whole thing. We're getting to the middle of it. We're finally learning a lot of stuff. So many things are being unveiled and we're only halfway done this season. So right off the bat, another great episode of the character of Archie. I feel like in earlier things he lacked a little. His character was kind of slow. But he's really picking up, he's really finding his footsteps, and I'm really excited and really glad to see that he's becoming this bigger fan of music. He's focusing more on that. It really helps with everything we've seen in the comic books about the character Archie and everything with him wanting to do music and him with that career passion, because it's always been a part of the character. I'm glad they focus more on that and less of the football element. If we wanted another Friday Night Lights, we could have got that. I don't want to see another high school show where we sit there and it's all football. And going off the Archie thing, what I really liked was everything with Reggie Mantle. I didn't like the character at the beginning. He just came across too much of a stereotype jock, not really much to him. But you see a lot with him in this episode. I mean, he seems like an idiot, and I understand why they kind of made him look like kind of a dumber character. But you see, he has his heartfelt moments too, where he tells Archie, "Don't keep playing, man. Your arm's hurt. Your wrist is going to be broken soon. Don't keep playing." And then Archie goes against it. He wants to keep playing. So Reggie has his moments too. I really like that. It really helps make the character feel more real, more fleshed out, and it wasn't even a big moment. And just talking about all the characters in general on this show, they're impossible not to like. Even the characters that I've at first didn't like Cheryl Blossom. This was a really Cheryl Blossom episode too, and I really liked that. At the beginning of the season, I thought the character was just going to be a bitch. She was just going to be this one-note girl. Her brother died. That's going to be her main thing. But she's really emotional. She has these feelings. Her parents don't treat her with respect. And everything with her in this episode was really empowering for anybody who ever felt like their parents don't give them the space they need to breathe or any of that stuff. It was really nice to see her character have this big moment like that. And everything with Veronica too. Veronica and Cheryl, they're dynamic. The way those two play off each other was really well in this episode. And Veronica's another character. She could have just been the bitch. You know, we're all focusing on Betty. But Veronica's really, I think, the voice of reason on the show. She's really the one who's helping everybody. She helped Archie. She's helped Betty. She helped Cheryl. She's really like the every person in this. And it's really nice. It's really good to see this character have a big moment like this. Just to see her step up to this mantle, I would not expect this with Veronica's character. So, going back a little bit with Archie, I know I'm just kind of going all over the place, but with Archie, everything with him wanting to learn more about music, and he's going to see that professional who tells him, your music's juvenile, it's not good enough, and he starts to question, did Grundy really try to help him, or was she just trying to get him in the sack? Yes, I mean, that's something that I don't think a lot of students would know. So, did Archie is he not good with music? It's pretty much his dilemma. And a character who, she's not a main character, and that's Valerie. And her dynamic with Archie, I really like. It's really intriguing. Everything with their relationship, there's definitely going to be something evolving in there. There's going to be some tension between Josie and Archie, Josie and Valerie. I'm excited to see where Josie comes in and how that goes, because it's really interesting to see those two play off each other. Josie's a character I want to see more of, and I wish she was in this episode. I understand why she wasn't. But Valerie and Archie, I'm expecting something might happen there. Who knows? Anything's possible. And just with character dynamics, two that I really also liked, and that's Betty and Jughead. The way these two play off each other, the way that they have this chemistry, the way they feel, it almost makes you feel like they could be related or they could be in a relationship. They just got this chemistry that works together so well. I like what they're doing as characters, and I gotta say, Betty looks way better. The actress, I don't know her name, but the actress, she looks way better, and she has her hair down. It's not all done up tight. It really works for her. She looked really good in that funeral scene. Even though it was a funeral scene, you're not trying to look good, but she looked really good there. And I love the scene. Again, it's really empowering. It was really powerful when Cheryl walked out in the all-white dress, and she just stood up there and talked about how she feels, everything with her and Jason. And I'm glad that we're getting more on Jason, like how he did the drugs, his relationship with a bunch of these people, things with him and Polly, and learning more about Polly too, and how they were engaged. And that's really interesting. It's something I didn't expect to see. I didn't expect these characters who are in high school to be engaged. Like, what grade are these guys in? I don't know. Are they like juniors or something? It's weird to think about that these kids were engaged. But I think we're going to see Polly later on in some episodes, and We saw a lot with Mr. Cooper in this episode. It's exciting because it sets up the possibility that he is the guy that killed Jason. He stole all the papers from Sheriff Geller's house while everyone was at the drive-in in the last episode. I personally don't think it was Jason. I don't think it was him that killed Jason. Mr. Cooper, he's a prime suspect. I'd expect him to when he's looking at the videos of Polly and Betty sees him down the stairs, and they're not telling Betty what happened or anything about Polly. Nothing's true. They're setting him up. Maybe he's being framed or something, but he clearly has the papers. He clearly is an accessory to whatever is happening. And that's really interesting. It's a nice angle. The way that they focus on the parents, and then going on to the way they focus on the parents too. Everything with Hermione and Fred. Oh man, I love Luke Perry. I love the actors that are playing Hermione. These characters, they have such great chemistry. You can tell that they're old friends. They have this way that they talk to each other. And I like that Luke Perry offered her the job back at his company. I think it's really going to help build up their relationship. I don't expect it to get romantically involved. Everything that's going to happen with her and the Southside Serpents, I think, it's really intriguing. It grabs your attention as another layer of this because we know Jughead's dad is a member of the Southside Serpents, and at some point, I know they're setting this up hard, and I keep talking about it, we're going to see Mr. Lodge. He's got to be a main guy sometime. Season 2, maybe, he'll be a big guy. But, so just to reiterate, this was a really character-driven episode. We learned about the history between the Blossoms and the Coopers, the back story behind that, how the great-grandfather of Cheryl and Jason killed the great-grandfather of Betty, and that's so interesting that this feud goes back before that in Riverdale. It's nice seeing Archie come into his own as this guy who's going to take up music now. We're not going to focus on the football aspect of it. Archie's really becoming a character I'm intrigued by. And I wasn't at first, but everything we're seeing with Archie, I'm really excited for. This episode really made it good. And when we learn about the engagement, the creepiest scene I think I've seen in a long time on television is that old lady just coming out in the wheelchair when Betty and Jughead are in Jason's room. So weird, so creepy, so intriguing, so just different than what I expected. Because, yeah, it's such a weird old lady just being there. It's what the hell. And, yeah, Cheryl's so good in this episode. Everything with her. Veronica, so good in this episode, helping Archie stitch up his arm. Everything about that. Valerie becoming this mainstay. These characters are so good in what they do. They're so engrossing. They're so intriguing. I'm excited to see where this goes. This episode really felt good, felt full, and everything about it just worked. So that's going to do it for my review, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck, pussycats.